Hey YouTube, Omar here for my college football wrap-up for week 3. Another good week in college football. I'm going to try to go through this quickly because it's pretty late. I'm just trying to get to bed on a Monday night. So let's just start with the scores in the top 25 games. Starting off on Thursday, number 24 TCU upset on the road against Texas Tech. Number 1 Alabama beat number 6 Texas A&M in a great game, 49-42. Number 2 Oregon blew out Tennessee, 59-14. Number 4 Ohio State handled California, 52-34. Number 5 Stanford had a little bit of a scare but beat Army 34-20. Number 7 Louisville struggled with Kentucky but still beat them 27-13. Number 8 LSU handled Kent State at home, 45-13. Same with Florida. Number 10 Florida State over Nevada, 62-7. Michigan, another very close scare, but they win 28-24 over Akron. Number 12 Oklahoma State crushed Lamar 59-3. Number 13 South Carolina got a statement SEC win against Vanderbilt 35-25. Number 14 Oklahoma defeated Tulsa 51-20. In a good game, number 16 UCLA defeated number 23 Nebraska 41-21. Number 17 Northwestern handled Western Michigan 38-17. Number 19 Washington beat Illinois 34-24. Number 20 Wisconsin upset on the road at Arizona State 32-30 with a little debacle, but we'll get back to that later. Number 21 Notre Dame beat Purdue by a touchdown 31-24, and number 25 Ole Miss destroys Texas 44-23. So, 5 things we learned this week. Number 1, Johnny Manziel is still Johnny Manziel. Wow, he blew my mind with the game he had. I'll get into the stats later, but such a Johnny Manziel game against, let's not forget, the Alabama defense, which isn't the same as it was last year, but is still one of the best, if not the best, in the country. Unfortunately for him and for his Texas A&M Aggies, they lost, but he has to hold his head high with the performance that he had. Number 2, no one can stop Oregon. For the past 2 weeks, we've been hearing from the Virginia and now from Tennessee, oh, Oregon this, this is going to be the team, this is a defense that can hang, this is an offense that can put up points with Oregon. No one has even touched Oregon in their in their 3 out-of-conference games. That was easy for them. Number 3, the Pac-12 proved themselves. We proved ourselves as the second best conference in football behind the SEC. This week in out-of-conference play, the Pac-12 was 8-1, with our only loss being Cal against Ohio State. 3-1 against the Big Ten. Our only loss in the Big Ten coming against Ohio State. So really a good week for the Pac-12. We've really been showing everyone. UCLA showed up Nebraska. The Huskies showed up Illinois. I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, Pac-12 is the second best. I don't think there's much doubt in my mind. Number 4, college officials and NFL officials, but we're in this video, college officials really can suck. I don't know if you watched the debacle, the end of a late game between Wisconsin and Arizona State. It ended in this. If I remember right, the Wisconsin quarterback rolls left and slides down, setting up what would be a field goal opportunity, down 2 points for the win. But due to some confusion spotting the ball, Wisconsin never gets a snap off, and Arizona State wins it. So really bad on the refs. Apparently they've been reprimanded, but wow. And number 5, Teddy Bridgewater is still human. We'll get to his stats later on, and against Kentucky and the team you would think he would destroy, really didn't have that great of a showing and really fell way down my Heisman list. But we'll get to that later, as I said. Next up, 3 teams whose stock went up on Saturday. Number 3, you have to go with the Oregon Ducks. Once again, they proved for the second straight week, don't tell us who can do this against us and who can slow this and who's going to keep up with this. Another dismantling of Tennessee, 59-14, and it could have been a lot worse if Mark Helfrich didn't take his foot off the gas. Number 2, UCLA. They were recovering from losing a player to a death earlier in the week, a team favorite. And what did they do by recovering? Take a 41-21 win on the road against a ranked Nebraska team. They played unbelievable football in the second half, and it's a big win for them, especially because of the death that happened, but also a big win in terms of football standards. And number 1, Bama. Bama is Bama. They proved exactly why they're number 1. Enough said. 3 teams whose stock went down. Number 3, Michigan. Now, hold on just a second. I usually don't put a winning team on the losing side, if you will. But anyone who watched that game knows that Michigan did not get up for that game. That was embarrassing on their part that they were so close against Akron. And when it comes to later in the year, if they're really playing good football, it's going to hurt them in the polls that they played such a bad game against Akron and only won by 4 points. Number 2 most disappointing team on the other end of the spectrum from UCLA, Nebraska. Did not finish at home in the second half. In fact, didn't even not finish. Just destroyed in the second half. Also, some stuff came out on Bo Pelini today that 2 years ago he was trashing the fans, saying they were all fair-weathered and F them and F this and F-bombs all over the place. Really don't care. Don't really watch Nebraska football. And another unranked now. And number 1, Texas. How is Mac Brown still around? I don't understand. Shown up by Ole Miss again on their home turf. 1-2. Wow. Texas is a debacle. Alright, so let's look at our Heisman watch now. At number 5, dropping from number 1, Teddy Bridgewater. 16 of 28, 250 yards and a touchdown. That's it against Kentucky. Very, very disappointing. Still didn't throw a pick, but just he leaves a lot to be asked for. Number 4, Todd Gurley. Had a bye week for Georgia, but the running back has been great in the first 3 weeks of two games of the season for Georgia. 1 a big win, 1 a loss. Number 3, entering my rankings, Brett Hundley, the quarterback for UCLA. 16 of 24 for 294 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Also 61 rushing yards against Nebraska. Led UCLA to a second half win, comeback win. And he's just a dynamic player in a very dynamic offense. He has weapons around him to succeed, and he's been succeeding. Number 2, how can you doubt Marcus Mariota, quarterback of Oregon? 23 of 33, 456 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air, 27 yards and a touchdown on the ground. This guy's a beast, that's all I have to say. And number 1, Johnny being Johnny. 28 of 39, 464, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, 98 yards rushing against Alabama, which could be the best defense in the country. Wow. That's just a wow. And that's why I put him number 1 this week. 3 guys to watch that'll be moving up soon or can make their move with 1 big win or 1 big game. Devin Gardner of Michigan, Bishop Sankey of my team, Washington, and Jameis Winston of Florida State. All guys that can make moves. That's all I have for my wrap-up this week. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next week.